Welcome back, guys. In this video, we're going to be looking into creating the lambda, deleting the lambda, uh, 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 both using the UI and the command CLI. So we're going to start with the UI. Okay. So I just logged into my AWS console. You can actually look for lambda over here, and we're going to be creating a new function. So when creating a new function, uh, you can click on this button, create new function. Uh, so we're going to give it a function name. We're going to be just calling it, we are creating it from scratch. You can get a blueprint or image, container image. So you're going to be giving it a container image like a Docker image, and it's gonna just get it from there. Blueprint is already gonna have some kind of a boilerplate, but we're just for the demonstration purposes, we're gonna stick to the scratch one. I'm gonna call my function as lambda uh, demo UI. Uh, we can stick to this Node.js version 20. If you wanna go a little bit back, they do support up to 16, I guess. Okay, so yeah, so we'll stick with the default one here. You can tell him what kind of architecture do you want to run on. So we're gonna stick to x86. Permissions, change default execution role, you can do that. It's gonna basically, we're gonna go with the create a new role with basic lambda permissions, and if we need it, we're gonna be able to modify the permissions. Then you can also have like the enable the VPC, enable tags, enable function URLs if you are gonna be calling it like outside, like basically outside of AWS. You're gonna need a function URL for that, and code signing. So if you don't know anything, you can actually click on info and it's going to explain it to you. Choose a configuration that describes a signature validation policy and signing profiles that are permitted to sign code. So you can come here and create a new configuration if you want to do a code signing configuration. So we're just gonna go with the default one, create function. It's gonna take a little bit to do that. Okay, now there are a few things. Code is gonna be here. We're gonna write a very similar code when we're doing the UI. I'm just gonna uh, yeah, we're gonna do that. You can upload it, upload from a zip file, a .zip file, or like the Amazon S3 location. If you have the zip file uploaded in an Amazon S3 location, they all have limitations. Like you can have up to 50 MB size of zip file, and when they're gonna Amazon S3 location is also not very promising, in the sense that if you have bigger code, you just need to make sure, although you can run full-blown backend systems as Lambda, but still there are a lot of limitations in terms of the sizes. Soon when you are running a full-blown backend as an Lambda, you will find out that you are running into space issues. Zip file, as I said, it's gonna it's gonna have limitation of 50 MBs, but even over here, they're gonna make sure that you don't actually upload as a zip file, or even if you do, when this zip file which you uploaded on Amazon S3 location, when they're gonna unzip it, the size of that should be less than, if I'm correct, it should be less than 250 MB. So with zip format, it's gonna be 50 MB, and you will be able to directly upload it or even put it on the S3 location. But after you unzip it, so there is a little bit of room after 50 MB. but again depends on what what's gonna be the size once you unzip it. So if you unzip it and the size is still less than 250 MB, you can put it in the uh, Amazon S3 location. And after that, you just run out of options. You just need to run another Lambda for that. Test, you can create new events and test it. You can have like the format JSON, and you can have an event, and you can just run test after saving it, and it's gonna try to hit that Lambda. You can go to monitor, like about like the CloudWatch metrics, if you are running into any errors, invocations, how many invocations you are getting. You can run into you can see the configurations, and if you want to make it part of the VPC, set up tags, set up environment variables, set up triggers, general configuration if you wanted to make it so Lambda by default runs for 3 seconds. So if you have a task which does not finish in 3 seconds, it's gonna error out. So you can go up to, I think, how much is that? I think 20. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so 20 is the maximum time of 15 minutes. What? Oh, okay, sorry about that. Oh, 15 minutes and 0 seconds. Got it, got it. Okay, so that's the max you can go. So it can, anything longer than 15 minutes is gonna, and again it depends. So if it is part of, what was that? So there are limitations to it. I just can't recall it right now. So if it has a functional URL, it's gonna be the timeout. It does change. If it is, sorry, yes, I remember now. So if it is part of what do you call, what is that? Not the function URL. Uh, so if it has a gateway, uh, I could be, so it's not like always 15 minutes. It's a standalone is gonna have a 15 minutes, but if it is hitting uh, with other configurations, it's gonna have a different timeout. We have aliases, we have versions, stuff like that. If you want to delete it, you will come back, select it, and then you can just go to actions and delete it. Okay, we're gonna do similar things using the CLI. So for that, I'm gonna go to temp. I'm gonna create a file. Uh, let's call it like an index.js. Right. Okay, let's call it an index.js. It's gonna be very similar to the code we saw. So we're gonna have an export function, which is gonna be get an event. Okay, once you have an event, you're gonna say that, okay, let's just have a constant response, which is gonna give us the response back. We're gonna say that the status code is equal to 200, and the body is gonna be equal to maybe hello world. Oops. Okay, and then we're gonna return the response. Okay, so once we have that, okay, so if we have that one, we need to upload it. For that, I will okay, so the other thing is that we wanted to upload the index.js file as a zip file. So we're just gonna say zip lambda function, right, using the CLI dot zip. That's gonna be our index.js. Okay, so we have that file. So the command is again the command to upload as a lambda function is gonna be AWS Lambda, and if we are stuck, we're gonna use the help. We can go down. It's gonna tell me we can actually create the function. That's the one which we're gonna be using. There are a bunch of functions. So AWS Lambda create function, and then we can say the function name is gonna be our function name, which is the lambda function. That's good. Then we have like we can actually tell him the runtime, which is basically what language we want to use. So we can have node.js 16.j .x, whichever version. Okay. Then we're gonna have a handler, which is gonna be index.handler. Then we're gonna have a zip file, right, which we wanted to upload. That is gonna be zip file, and that would be file b colon slash slash whatever we created, which is lambda underscore function underscore CLI dot zip. And one more thing, oh, the role is required too. Okay, sure. The role is gonna be okay. We need to provide the role, which is gonna be the ARN AWS IAM colon 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0 1 2 role slash lambda role, and then a specific profile, because I have multiple profiles to upload to. I'm just gonna use my profile where I want to upload. Okay, we have this AWS Lambda create function, function name, runtime handler. We have a zip file. So I ran into some issues. Basically, we were here. One thing was that the function name should be the one which we wanted to give. It should not be just the name of the zip file. It's not going to allow you to have like .zip, something like that. So I named it lambda demo CLI. The other thing is that the role needs to be there. So if I run it right now, I'm gonna get an error saying that. So I was just putting it randomly. That is not the right way. You need to have your account number. In order to get the account number, you can just write AWS STS get caller identity and then the profile name. Okay, so you can get it from there, but again, right now I'm still getting the error because this lambda role does not exist. So we're gonna create that new role. So you can actually use if you want to know what different roles do you have, so you can actually hit that command and it's going to tell you the role names I have is this one and this one in this profile. uh, it even gives you the ARN the ARNs for that. Okay, so but I do not have anything related to the lambda, so I'm gonna create one. So that would be AWS IAM create um, a role. We're gonna give it a role name. Uh, the role name, let's just call it um, what were we trying before? We were saying the Lambda role. Lambda role. Then we're gonna say assume role. Before that, I'm just gonna define the profile. And then for the role, I'm just gonna select a default role here. So it's an assume role policy document, and just has an action of like SDS assume role. Doesn't really give or allow or anything like that. Like we need to, if you want to give the permission, we need to change that. So we have an error in the syntax. Should be create role. So that is good. Now if I write that command again, where we looked into what are the different roles available. So if I list roles now, DB, it's somewhere. Role ID, role name, advisor. I actually had a bunch of roles. I just didn't scroll down to see those. But you would be able to find those if you keep going down. Lambda demo UI role. Uh, Lambda role. So that's the one we created. That's the one we associated. Okay, so this is now we have the Lambda role. Now if we try that, the same command we were trying, and this time we're gonna say the role is the Lambda role and give it a try. It's gonna create a function. So if I go back, go to the functions here, refresh that, you would see our function Lambda demo CLI just created 6 seconds ago. And the last thing is that if you wanted to delete it, you can, again, if you don't know the command, you can actually go with AWS Lambda and help. The command we are looking for is delete, and it's gonna be the delete function, right? Okay, so the delete function is just gonna take the AWS Lambda. The name of the function is gonna be more than enough, other than our profile name. Function that is the function is named as Lambda demo CLI, and we're gonna give it a profile which is bold 2024. So we had the AWS Lambda, then we had the delete function, then we have the function name has a syntax error. Okay, yep. Once I go back and just want to make sure that I've deleted it, so that's Thanks for watching, guys.